Hello, everyone, and welcome down to episode 146 of the Down South Photo Show with me, Brendan Waits, here in Ocean Grove, Victoria, Australia, and the guy on your other screen or in your other ear if you're listening to the show. It's welcome back to Cam Blake in Hobart, Tasmania, Australia. Hello, Cam.
I'm just amazed how good you do that every time. It's just you could do that when you sleep, that intro.
Just about, yeah. It sort
Like
of
you're ready to
rolls off
go,
the
bang,
tongue.
and out it comes. I'm good. I'm back home, which is nice.
Good. Good to
Uh,
be back home, isn't it?
Good to I'm back home for a little while. I've got a few weeks before I have to do anything major.
Yep.
So yeah, just got back from Kakadu. It was
Lovely.
hot, sweaty, and humid.
Yeah.
And
Like I said to you, what are the odds?
what are
It's
the odds?
early December in Northern Australia.
You
Why
know
would
what?
it be hot?
You know what? That was good. It was good fun. We had a great trip.
Good.
Yeah, it's good to be home.
Excellent.
I've just been chilling out today. I just off air. I've just been doing a little bit of printing and stuff like that. But it's a crazy, silly season, and here we are, so close to 1,000 subs. It's so close you can almost touch it.
Thank you to everyone who has liked, subscribed, and followed along to the channel, particularly those of you who have subscribed. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you. You'll have a look at our little subscriber count down there, and I don't know, it might already be 1,000, but it's getting close. And
Yeah.
our goal, we never really set out
Oh,
to
come on,
get 1,000 subs.
let's be honest. We were trying to get 1,000.
We never set out to do anything of the sort. We set out to put out a cool show, hopefully, a podcast that people enjoy, and people are liking it, obviously, which is great. So, mind you, 3.5 years almost in, or whatever it is, well, 3 years in, and
Yeah,
that's what it takes.
it hasn't been a quick process, but that's um
But we have very loyal subscribers and
very low.
followers and listeners. So thank you.
Yeah. As we speak, we need 16 more legends to subscribe. And
There
what
you
I'd
go.
be really interested in, I know you'll probably mention as we go along with the Nick Carver
Yes.
episode and how good
Yes.
that went. I wonder how
Yes.
many people have picked up from that area of the world since Nick's had a bit of a chat with us.
Well,
Be
welcome aboard to them. I would have thought there'd be one or two that have probably enjoyed the interview with Nick as much as we did, and it was bloody awesome.
It was good.
Um, and he's also happy to know that he is now our most viewed channel of all most viewed video of all time on our channel.
He had a bit of a dig at Ben Horn, didn't he?
That was pretty funny.
It was very funny.
Um,
Yeah.
so well done, Nick. You are now numero uno, and you'll take some knocking off. However, we have plans, don't we, Mr. Blake?
Well, now that we've cracked the international market
That's right.
and we've cracked the YouTube superstar market,
We've cracked the algorithm of what we've
we have.
done.
You know what we've done? We've just asked.
That's right.
We've done that
Funny,
too.
funny how it works like
Yeah,
that.
he's asking for come on. So yeah, next year, I'm hoping that yeah, we might get some great names on here
Yeah.
and see if they can challenge Nick's 1,000 plus, views at the moment. Be pretty
Even
good.
even more great names. Yeah, that's right. It'll be awesome. Now you've had how long were you in Kakadu for?
We were there for 5 days, 4 nights, five
Awesome.
days. So we
Awesome.
stayed in a crocodile.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You
Do you
got
remember that getting? I remember that being built as a kid, the Crocodile Hotel in
it
Kakadu.
was yeah, it was a big deal, wasn't it?
A big deal. Yeah, I remember like it was on the news. I don't know why it stuck with me, but
Is that
uh,
in Jabiru? Is that what they call
it
that?
is in Jabiru. Yeah,
Yes. Yep.
I probably stayed under his left armpit. The others stayed under his right armpit.
Very
Uh,
good. Well,
we had dinner in his brain most nights.
nice. Awesome.
If you don't know what I'm crapping on about, go check out the Mercure hotel in Kakadu. It's from above. It's shaped as a crocodile. All the rooms are the pool's in the middle, and the crocodile. It's very cool.
It's very 80s is what it
It is
is.
very 80s. Um,
All
not much up there, but
right, what came first, the Crocodile Hotel or Excalibur? They've got a similar vibe.
yeah, how good's Excalibur?
Oh, yeah, almost as good as the Luxor.
Yeah, it's always good. So no, we had a good time. We had some great people on board, and we changed the date this year to be smack bang in the middle of almost the first part of the wet season, and we didn't get heaps of rain. We had rain most nights overnight. We got a pretty epic storm on the last day we were there, so it
Which
all
is
sort of
what
came
you
in.
were there for, so that's
Yeah, and
great.
we got some shots. We saw some lightning bolts and things like that. But we had a great time, and yeah, it was good. It was a good way to finish the year off. So that was our last workshop for the year.
Fantastic. Well, why don't you walk people through your background since that
Get off
is
my
in
face.
that very neck of the woods?
Being lazy and sitting on my what am I using to cover up? What did I used to use? My
I don't
TV.
know.
I'm thinking
TV
about
remote. Hang on, he's got to go. He's gone.
is it?
Now we can see it, so it looks great.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Here it is. Hang on.
Just talk amongst yourselves, people, while Cameron gets his act together.
All right.
There we go.
All right. So this is a shot. Funnily enough, this is a shot from Kakadu, but not from this trip because, as we'd also discussed off air, I've rebuilt my computer, and it's taking its sweet ass time to sort of catch up on all my online cloud storage, which is where my current Kakadu shots are stored. So this is from last year, helicopter shot and flight that we did with the doors off. The group did that again this trip, but I didn't go up in the chopper. And there's a reason why I didn't go up in the chopper. It's because the
Right.
chopper broke.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, the chopper broke. So Dan, 5-star Dan was there, and 5-star Dan's lovely wife Cal came along.
Hmm.
Last year, she wanted to come and see and watch how hard Dan and I worked. I would suggest we didn't really prove that to her because it was pretty easy going.
Yes.
Anyway, so we did 3 flights with the doors off. We had 2 guests right at the very start of the day, and then 20 minutes later, the next 2 guests, and then Dan and Kelly were going to go up for a nice romantic doors off chopper flight, and they got in there. They had to refuel the chopper. They went to press the button to start the chopper, and the chopper just didn't work. So for about 25,
Wow.
30 minutes, we were just waiting there for this chopper to get fixed, and they came in. They said it's kaput. What do you want to do? Do you want to go up on a plane? We're like, oh, we'd rather the doors off in the chopper. And Dan and Cal made a decision to wait till the next day to see if it worked. And they rang us up in the morning. They said, yeah, chopper's still rat shit. What do you
Right.
want to do? So they never got up. They decided not to go up. So it was a bit of a shame, but I guess I'd rather be in a proper operational helicopter than one that maybe just been fixed. I don't know.
You'd also prefer that these things do happen on the ground.
Well, that's what I said to them. Like they were a little bit disappointed. I'm like, just imagine like 10 minutes into the flight and it starts doing the coughing and splurting.
That's right.
Helicopters are a bit different to planes. Planes can glide for a little bit. Choppers generally drop and
Generally fall.
they fall and they need to do some weird stuff. But yeah, it
Okay.
was good. It was a great trip. We had a good time. So
Right.
and I'm sure the guy, I haven't seen the aerial shots yet, but they would have got a similar morning to this that we got there. So
Fantastic.
stunning place. And if you haven't been to Kakadu, it's a World Heritage Area for numerous reasons. It's got cultural significance, obviously with the indigenous. They've been there for tens of thousands of years. There's amazing rock art. It's really cool. I think that was a highlight for a lot of our guests on this trip was being able to see the rock art. There's a Tasmanian tiger painted on the wall up in Kakadu.
Now this is amazing, isn't it? So
Yeah.
so what is the explanation for that?
Well, they used to be on the mainland.
Right.
So Tassie tigers used to roam everywhere. And only recently, I guess, when they sort of dwindled in numbers, they obviously shrunk back, and ice ages would have trapped them on the island that was left. But there's pictures also in, I think, Outback WA. There's also rock art that shows them there. But it's weird. You're walking around, and you're at the top end of Australia, and in this cave, there's a thylacine painted on the wall.
Absolutely brilliant.
Amazing. So yeah, we had a great time, and if you want to come again next year, we're doing the same again next year. There's about 4 or 5 places left on that for start of December next year.
All of Cam's workshops will be linked below. Just quickly, I'll
What
show
have you
you my
got? Yours
background.
looks like a pretty boring place. Where's that?
So this is in Arizona on the awesome trip I got to do with your good self and 5-star Dan back in October. And hang on, was that October, November, whenever it was?
Late October. Yeah.
It was
Wow.
late October. So there's a place called Horseshoe Bend just outside Page, Arizona. We got up for the sunrise there. Challenging spot, this one, wasn't it? Because of the well, the as you can see, the light there. So that light up above there, that all started to light up, and of course, all down here in the canyon was
Yeah.
very, very dark. So it did
I'm
make it
surprised.
quite challenging.
I'm surprised you got a cliff edge there without all the dickhead Instagrammers standing on the edge of the cliff trying to get their selfie.
Yeah, I sort of the dickhead Instagrammers are up sort of top left. So I sort of crept around the canyon a little bit with I had Tim with me,
Yes.
and we were having a bit of a look for some cool foreground, and we found some,
Yeah.
I reckon.
Yeah.
Um, would have loved to have actually found that maybe an hour earlier without all that contrasty light in the distance. But hey, what are
It
you going to do?
works.
The,
Yeah.
the
It works.
cool thing about Horseshoe Bend is just the scale of it, and this photo does not give you that. So if I just get myself back on, so right down there is actually a campsite. You can't even make it out here, but there are tents and there was a boat came in here, like the rafters, I think they were, weren't they, Cam?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's the Colorado River that winds around there.
Correct. Yeah.
You're right. That's a great photo, but it doesn't sort of give you the scale.
No,
Like, it's got to be a good maybe 200-meter drop off that edge.
it feels like it. It felt actually, if Funny you should say that because I just the other day went back and watched our Three Capes video,
Oh yes.
and I'd say it had a similar height to that, and that ranges from 2 to 300 meters. So I would agree that this would have to be a couple of 100 meters.
And as per usual, you are sitting on the edge of it,
Yeah,
like in the Three Capes, making everyone else feel bloody nervous.
but sure-footed as a mountain goat, mate. Famous last words.
Here you go. The overlook at a horseshoe bend in Arizona. It's 1,300 meters above sea level.
Okay,
It creates a 300-meter drop
there you go.
into the river. So
That's pretty high.
a 1,000-foot drop. So yeah,
Yep.
look, put yourself on the corner there and take a selfie with your girlfriend
Yeah,
wearing
exactly.
thongs and
Well, wouldn't you?
yeah, cool spot though. I can't
Oh
believe it
yeah.
was like in October, late October.
And the cool thing was, after we were done there, we went back into Page and they had that balloon festival.
That's right. Yeah, that was cool.
That was very, very cool. So awesome. Now, a little bit of homework. Let's talk about our December comp, Cam, which
Yes.
is going very, very strong. It's over on our Facebook page. If you just go over to Facebook and look up Down South, the Down South Photo Show, give us a follow while you're there if you want. The
Yeah.
pinned post will be our December comp, and the theme is foreign for
Yeah.
December.
You know what I think I like about this competition or this week's or this month's theme better than everything else?
We don't have to judge it.
Yeah, it's not us judging. How good is that?
Yes, thank you to Mr. Glyn Lavender. While we're on that, thanks for everyone who tuned into Glyn's episode last week. Feedback on that's been fantastic.
Was he on, was he?
He was. You were in Kakadu.
Oh, I didn't even look. Sorry, Glenn. I didn't even realize you're on the show,
I
mate.
know it's all right. It's there for all time. You can go back and watch it whenever you
No,
want.
I may have watched it on the plane on the way home, and I heard a few little cheeky jabs by Mr. Lavender about me not hosting and things like that.
Him, cheeky.
Yeah, he's all right.
He does know how to. He does know how to put it on, doesn't he?
I'll tell you what, I was listening to it the other day when I came back I flew back from Darwin to Melbourne and Melbourne to Hobart, and I was
You
sort
went
of,
on the red eye.
yeah, God. I got listening to it on the start of the red eye, and I went, no, I'm getting some sleep. So then I had to watch the rest of it on the way back from to Hobart, and
Yeah.
we did an aborted landing.
Now, look, I know this is a photography show, but you got to walk us through this. This was incredible when you told me this story.
Yeah, so we took off from Melbourne. I usually fly Shitstar or Jetstar for those who don't realize who they are, and they're okay. I seem to be okay with them. And it was actually quite funny. We're in Darwin, and Five-Star Dan loves taking the piss out of me if I get recognised by someone, in Melbourne or Tassie or something like that. He thinks it's hilarious. We're sitting in the waiting area of Darwin Airport, and the pilots start walking through for our flight, and this guy goes, "Cam Blake?" I went. Oh, I'm like, geez, I know this guy's face from somewhere. His name is McCool. He's a pilot for Jetstar. He did a Cradle Mountain workshop with me, and he was flying us home. I said, "Cool. What's the conditions like?" He goes, "Smooth the whole way. Perfect, mate. We'll be on time. Everything like that." So that part of the flight was great. Then I got on a Virgin flight that went from Melbourne to Hobart, and
Right.
Saturday last week, and it was windy and rainy and very, really, really, really low cloud. So it was bumpy enough on the way over, a few little, roller coaster drops and stuff like that. Anyway, we're coming into land, and I could see out the window. I'm like, usually you can see the old township of Richmond when you fly in. And I'm like, we're getting pretty low, and I haven't seen Richmond yet. And the next minute, you come out of the clouds, and like we would have been only a couple of kilometers from the runway. And I reckon our wheels almost touched the ground. And next minute, we're off again. So jets up, everyone's back in their seat. Everyone's like, oh, everyone's getting excited. And off we went. And the captain came on and said, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. Just going to have to do another landing. We couldn't see the runway. I'm like, but you still tried to put the wheels down?
Is that in the book? Is that in the procedural manual? Oh, we couldn't see the runway. I'm pretty sure they're not
He's
allowed to say that.
flicking through the book of what to say. Oh, missed landing. Quote, we could not see the runway. So we went around and did a roundabout and came back down. And then when we came back down, it wasn't much better. And we slammed into that runway. And we're on an angle, the whole thing. And the first time I've ever been on a plane when we'd landed in the wet, and I thought, this guy's running out of runway. We are not pulling up here.
Yeah.
And we literally were still coming to a stop as you go into that turnaround at the end of the runway. So out of all, this is the last flight of the year. How many flights have I been on this year? Been quite a few.
A lot.
And it had to be that last friggin' flight. The
Of
shit
course.
scared the
Yes.
hell out of me. So anyway, we made it home and we got picked up. And here I am, solid feet on the ground, not going anywhere for a little while.
Well done. Well, you live to tell the tale, so we're all happy for that. That's amazing. There you go.
And there's
Yeah.
one other thing on that. It's so funny. As we're doing the roundabout, like the reapproach, there's a guy sitting there just ringing the call bell, ding 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 ding, and the lady, the hostess, are like, "We can't. Everyone's be seated. You have to be there." He just gets up out of his seat and comes down. He goes, "I just need to go for a wee." And the lady's like, "We are totally against you doing this. This is your decision to do that." He's like, "Yeah, that's okay." Like we've aborted a landing. It's bumpy as hell, and he couldn't hang on for another 10 minutes. So
Mm.
if you're listening to that man, you're an idiot.
Yeah. So had to pluck him out of the ceiling.
Well, almost. Yeah.
Struth.
Yeah.
One last bit of homework before we go on. Our workshops for 2025 are 50% sold out, which is pretty awesome.
Awesome.
So
You want to
jump
run
on
through
to
for you?
dsps.com.au. We have one spot left for our one-day workshop on January the 17th, which I believe is a Friday. Is that right, Cameron?
18th.
Oh, we've got one spot left on the 18th. The Friday one's sold out. The Saturday one's got one spot.
Yeah. So there's no reason why people can't get on there.
So Saturday, January 18, that one starts here on the Bellarine Peninsula. Well, it's all on the Bellarine Peninsula in my neck of the woods,
Yeah.
a one-day workshop. Probably the best value for money photography workshop you will ever attend.
Yeah. We're not sort of guaranteeing that, are we?
No, but I reckon it's pretty damn good. I think it's like,
It is pretty good. Like
what is it, $199 or something?
4 course meal,
That's right.
limousine from everywhere, free alcohol.
Incredible. Yeah,
You
yeah,
get a free camera at the end. It's
yeah.
amazing.
I know, it's awesome.
All
All
sponsored
thanks to
by
Cam
Ocean
Blake.
Grove.
Isn't that amazing?
All sponsored by Ocean Grove.
None of that is true, by the way. Just in case someone.
We might have to edit that bit out. No, it
Yeah,
is good value for money. And every time we come along, I find that's a really great way to kick our year off.
it is.
It's almost like an early celebration of what the year's going to be with those things. Like we
Yeah,
get some people along, everyone has a good time, we have a lot of laughs, take some
yep.
cool photos and stuff like
It's a
that.
palate cleanser, is what it is.
It is, it is. It's a good
Mm.
way to do it. And then I actually take off the next day. I actually do go somewhere in January for a couple of days.
Nice,
I get to go to the Daintree to quickly scout for a couple of days the macro workshop we're doing. But yeah,
superb.
yeah. So then we've got after that we go. Technically, we do to Murray Mallee. Is that right?
Murray Mallee is, yeah. Now this is my favorite. I shouldn't say that. They're all, I love doing them all.
You be careful.
It's a workshop that's close to my heart because it starts and finishes in the town I grew up in Swan Hill. So the Murray Mallee workshop kicks off 28th of March and finishes on the 1st of April. That's going to be a cracker. That includes, if just in case we haven't said enough, the amazing Lake Tyrrell, so which is the beautiful pink lake at Sea Lake.
Yes.
It includes old Mallee towns. It includes an awesome walk through a shearing shed, a very authentic old shearing shed, a natural light portrait workshop in that shearing shed that I put on, which is
What
a
hap-
lot of
what
fun.
what happens if we don't get anyone photo worthy for the portrait workshop?
We'll get a sheep.
Get a sheep.
You just keep growing that beard. That's all we need, mate. Just keep
Yeah,
doing
okay.
that.
Keep
You'll be
growing it out.
fine.
No, the Murray Mallee is a great one, and I hear on the grapevine that you've worked out how to fix up Lake Wichita or whatever, Wichipu,
Touchy wop.
Touchy Wop. You figured out how to make that even better, which I found amazing that you could make it any better
We're
than
gonna
last.
give it another crack. Well, I have faith in Lake Touchy Wop
The good thing
We'll
about
see.
Lake Touchy Wop, it's close to that pub.
At Lake Boga.
Yeah, so if all goes bad, let's
We
go to
just
the
go
pub.
straight back in there. It's totally fine. And it also includes underrated the Pioneer Settlement in Swan Hill.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
that was cool. Like some of the best shots I got on that trip were Lake Tyrrell and
yeah.
that blacksmith guy.
Man, the
That was
blacksmith.
great.
We're gonna
Yeah,
we're gonna have to cross his palm a bit more and get him to stay a bit longer, I think.
yeah, nothing. Maybe a 6 pack of beer wouldn't go astray.
I don't think he'd say no.
No.
So
Uh,
yeah, Murray Mallee at the end of March, and then we have the Great Ocean Road in May. You got the exact dates for May there, Cameron? It's in May sometimes.
yeah.
All at dsps.com.au. The Great Ocean Road Workshop, based out of Apollo Bay. So we stay in the same place and we go in and out of Apollo Bay, including, of course, the world famous 12 Apostles, the Summer Apostles, as we like to call it, with the brand new lookout, which is open now. So we get to go there. We do the waterfalls, we do the redwoods, we do all the beach areas, and I actually reckon, well, there was many highlights this year on that trip, but
Mm.
how good was Cape Otway?
Cape Otway was good. The whole thing was really good.
It was.
The redwood trees probably stole the show.
It did, and it was it
Unexpectedly though. You know what I mean? Like
totally.
you take the redwoods out of that last trip with that amazing light we had, and you still say that the rest of it was awesome with what we
Yeah,
saw. It's
yeah,
just that just sort of the jewel on the top of everything. So,
yeah. Wouldn't it be amazing if we get that light again?
well, Mother
Like
Nature,
you said, the two times you've been there, it's happened like that.
yeah,
So maybe
yeah.
you're the good luck charm,
Or it won't
Un-
happen. Everyone will
un-
get the me. Thanks.
unless you're in a plane, but or a helicopter apparently too.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't think about
See,
that.
you were two for two.
Lucky I didn't get in that helicopter because that would have been terrible. I've just updated those dates
Thank you.
there.
Great Ocean Road, 19th of May,
Yeah,
2025. Really looking forward to that. And then towards the towards the back end of the of winter, we have from the 15th of August in Cam's neck of the woods, the Tarkine to Cradle Mountain 6-dayer, which is absolutely legendary, that workshop.
yeah. Again, I still had stupid in my. I've been running workshops for 10 years and never thought of putting those two locations and putting them together. It's such a great workshop.
I was in Cradle Mountain last week, and
I was in I was in Cradle Mountain yesterday.
you were, and man, it's such. I took the family down there,
Hmm.
and I went there very, very much to just hang out with the fam
Yeah,
because it's they've just had a big school year that's finished, so we took them down there, and it was amazing. I mean, my daughter got to see. So we're walking back towards Cradle Mountain Lodge, and here's a wombat, just one. And I'd forgotten that Abby had never seen a wombat in the wild.
all right. Yeah. Okay.
She lost her mind. She was just like blown away. Sally
I
cried.
can imagine. I can imagine how that's reacted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I went up there yesterday, dropped some books off, and all the Waratahs out. I didn't forget about.
Oh, aren't they fantastic? And we only get them for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
So
they are everywhere at the moment. They're
yeah,
out. In,
and which
yeah.
happens to be Sally's favorite flower. So it was
Did you
out in
know that
abundance.
Tasmania has a white Waratah as well?
Okay.
Very, very rare. I've only seen it once, but yeah, and I've seen a lot of photos down here in Hobart on Mount Wellington. There's heaps of Waratah trees
That's where
up
we find them. Okay, cool.
there. Yeah.
Well, we'll be back in Tassie at the end of January to Bruny Island for 4 days. So looking
Geez,
forward to that as well.
yeah, you might as well move down here. You're here more than I am.
Well, then the daughter's heading there for a month. So
So when
yes,
does she head off? She heads off
in February.
February. Okay.
So she'll be down there for the majority of February. Anyway, that's our workshops, guys. The Murray Mallee, the Great Ocean Road, and the Tarkine to Cradle, all happening in 2025, and can all be found at dsps.com.au. Goodness me, we've rabbited on for nearly half an hour without even getting into any topics
Are we?
photographically.
No way.
Well,
Let's just
okay, 20 minutes. Beg your pardon.
stop right
Um, so we have got some topics that we'd like to talk about.
there.
First and foremost is what we've learnt from over the last couple of weeks with interviewing different people on the channel.
Yeah.
I, I'll start.
You go. Hey, how about you start?
Okay. It's been fantastic getting different points of view from people. I mean, the Nick Carver interview, his insights into the way he goes about it, but also his thought processes and also what he takes away from photography. For, and again, we talk about this all the time on the channel. The mental health aspect of photography came through strong with Nick.
Yep.
He uses it as way more than just a job or even more than a hobby. It's a proper outlet for him,
Yeah.
which I love. And on reflection, I've looked back at 2025, and this will be an episode before we see this year out, and that is this is my most productive year behind the lens ever.
Right.
And a lot of that's got to do with the trips with you, Cam, the workshops we've run together, the trip to the States, of course, but go right back to the Three Capes, which
Yeah.
was this year.
This year.
It was in February, and it's been a big, big year.
Yeah.
I've taken thousands of photos and I've barely edited any of them.
You don't edit much, but you shoot a lot.
I do shoot a lot, and I feel like I've sort of banked a lot of images. So hopefully, once the madness settles down for me at Camera and Photo after December 25, I might get a bit of time to sit down and actually I might sort of break it down into each of the trips that I did over say a 6-day period and
Yeah.
get them edited because I'd love for our show that we put out between Christmas and New Year to be like our greatest hits for the year.
Yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah,
that'd be pretty cool to do, to maybe have half a dozen photos each that we can put up for our loyal viewers and listeners, and they can check out what we've been doing this year. So, sorry, getting back to the topic, and that is, yeah, I've learnt a lot from particularly talking to Nick, but also once again talking to Glenn Lavender.
yeah,
It's so good when you can talk to other pro photographers about how they go about their craft, because every single one of us is different,
yeah, 100%.
um, and our approaches are different.
I've learned like just the last like the interviews we've done with Nick, and obviously I've watched the one with Glenn. The one thing I've noticed about it is that geez, people are a lot more artistic than I am. Like people like they put a lot of their heart and soul into a lot of what they do. Like I put my heart and soul into my business, but I think I lack putting it into my photography a bit more than I probably need to. Where I think
Mm,
these guys, it's the art and the passion behind the shots they get that drives them to do stuff. I feel like I get driven a bit by the business, which so watching these guys in the interviews, it inspires me to go, right, well, they're on a different level, these guys. They really
yeah,
are really cool, and they do a great job of portraying that in the interviews as well, that it's not just about the photos, it's the mental health journey and stuff like that. My
yeah.
beautiful wife's just dropping me off something here, but I won't put her on screen because she won't come on screen. Where?
No, that's a shake of the head.
That's a shame.
What's she
I,
dropped you
I
off
get
there?
I get a fan down here. It's really hot.
Oh, well, that's because you've got a jumper on and a
Well,
hoodie, and
yeah,
it's the middle of summer.
summer. We don't get summer down here.
No, this is true. But getting back to that point, what you say is exactly right. And I'm guilty of it as well. I mean, I've got a foot in both camps, because I've got camera and photo, which is sort of, my income, and it pays the
Yeah,
bills and pays the mortgage and that sort of stuff. And then, going out to take photos for me, there is a commercial side to it, because I do sell my photos. And let me just say this week, talk about productive. I think I've sold the most of my photos I've ever sold before as well. It's been, and it's Christmas, I get that. Um, I still get that buzz, man. Like I got, you know, 25 years ago when I had my first shitty market stall at the Amundi markets, and sold a greeting card.
yeah,
That buzz that people like what you do, I mean, it's human nature. We'd like to be liked. And they give you money
yeah,
for a
yeah,
picture it's still so cool when people do that. I get an absolute buzz. I had a guy in today who he was just looking at my photo. He goes, I don't know which one to pick. He said they're all amazing. Ended up choosing one of my favorites, which was a great aerial shot I've got of Barwon Heads to Ocean Grove.
yeah,
And yeah, it made me just stop for a second, and go, that
yeah.
feeling hasn't left me. It's still there.
It's a great feeling, absolutely. And it's all that effort for reward or reward for effort, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you go out and do that, and for a while there, you're like, what am I doing all this for? Is there any point I want to try and sell stuff, and you don't maybe sell stuff straight away, and then all of a sudden someone likes something you see, and you have that connection with that person straight away.
Yeah.
Something else I got from the interviews as well is just how hard people work at their craft as
Yes.
well.
Yeah.
Especially Nick, like he's everything. This film, he prints his own stuff, and his production value and production level in his videos and everything he does. Like there's a lot of work that goes into all that.
Yeah, he's meticulous.
Yeah,
That came off,
yeah,
very much so. And when you watch his videos, particularly when he prints, if they're not exactly
yeah.
how he wants them, they're in the bin, like they're
You're in the
gone.
bin.
And
Yeah,
he has another go, and so it's expensive the way he does it as well. But the proof's in the pudding, I guess.
yeah. And it's a good one for people to watch and listen as well. Is that if you do love your photography, everyone listening to this show obviously has some sort of passion in photography. But if you do want to take it to that next level where you might want to start your own business, or you want to sell prints, or you want to have an exhibition or something like that, it's a really good a couple of interviews to watch and just see the effort that goes into what these people do to prepare their work, the efforts and the lengths they go to. You can probably take a leaf out of our book as well a little bit. Like we work pretty hard with what we do, but if you want to do well with your photography, putting it aside from being a hobby, then there's a lot of work that goes into it. And I encourage people to get in. If you're looking to sell your prints, or do market stalls or whatever it might be, or even do what we do, workshops or tours, then get into it. It's hard work, but it pays dividends in the end. You get some great value out of it. You get some great memories, and you get to do what you love for a day job. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very cool. I really enjoy it. I think as well with, you know, I feel like we're pretty. I don't want to use the word privilege, that gets thrown around too much. I think we're quite lucky in being able to do that, and But as you say, people see Cam Blake photography and see the tours, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, that must be an amazing lifestyle that he leads." I see how hard you work. I know what goes on behind the
Yeah,
scenes.
great. I'm 26 years.
Yeah, that's right. It's sort of like, and Glenn said it last week as well. He said, it's the classic duck scenario. You look calm on the surface, but you're paddling like
Oh
mad
yeah.
underneath.
Well, that was something I
And
really appreciated with the interview you did with Glenn, is just going through, especially with the bus trip that they had to do and the planes got cancelled and
yeah,
things like that. I was sitting there, I was feeling it for him, I was sweating
yeah,
bullets for him because you're right. Like it's the same with you. Like, your shop, someone comes in and, there's a print they need done, like yesterday, and you got to get that done. And, you're trying to make that customer feel like they're the only customer, but you got all these other things going on.
yeah, exactly.
It takes a lot of mental effort, and I think that's where we are lucky with what we do with our businesses. We're lucky because, we can sort of relieve a lot of that stress by going out with the camera.
Yep.
Where a lot of people use that as a mental health tool and things like that. It's the same for us. It's helping our mental health to get away from the business of working in photography in a way.
Yeah, exactly. And I say this to a lot of my customers as well, particularly people who I do the entry level workshops with, who are just learning the craft. You know, when all else fails, pick up your camera and go for a bloody walk.
Yeah, yeah,
Go somewhere, go to a reserve, go to a botanical garden, go
yeah,
to anywhere, just go down the street.
yeah. Just go,
And
get off your ass and go do something.
it's
Yeah,
very, very cool. And as you say, it's a very, very good pressure valve
it
that gets
is.
unscrewed when I get the camera on.
And it is. And I think photography is still a bit underrated with how valuable it is for mental health and
Yeah.
de-stressing.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so you can always go suck a few beers and feel better, or like you said, grab your camera and go for a lovely walk somewhere beautiful and take some beautiful photos of something. It's
I tell you, a little off topic, but underrated, Cataract Gorge in
yeah,
Launceston.
yeah, yeah,
Underrated. It's a beautiful place. We did the classic, the chairlift thing across the gorge with the kids because they hadn't done it before. It's sort of like a rite of passage in Australia. If you've done Cataract Gorge, you've done the chairlift thing. And you get across the other side, they've got those old English gardens there. But if you do the little walk around the edge of the gorge itself, it's absolutely magnificent.
yeah. One thing I haven't seen yet at Cataract Gorge, which I want to do, is in full flood.
Yeah, yeah.
That
We actually talked about that because you could see some debris, and it's like, man, it must
Yeah,
get fairly cranking through here.
where that little cafe and swimming pool is, that
Yes.
gets flooded in floods.
Yeah.
It comes down there like nothing else, and it'd be great to like just to see that power of nature
Mm.
through. Fun fact for you: did you know that the chairlift there is the longest single span chairlift in Australia,
There you go. Thank you.
like, without a pole in the middle?
There
Yeah,
you go. And lots of peacocks.
yeah, they are. They're pretty good, aren't
Yes,
they?
right. So leading on from what we just talked about, if you and me, so I'm going to ask you this question, Cam.
Sure.
If you could go and shoot with one photographer, dead or alive, who would
Oh,
you choose? Who would you choose and why?
oh. Um,
It's a tough one.
it is a tough one.
And comment below who you'd like to go and take photos
Yeah.
with.
Um, Look, I would have loved to have met Peter Dombrovskis, the Tasmanian photographer.
Yep.
Whether I'd go out and shoot with him, I don't know. I don't think I could have kept up. Like he was pretty fit and
I
pretty.
don't think he would have wanted to take anyone with him
Well, that's the
ever.
other thing. He probably didn't want anyone anyway. That's right, especially. But I think if I had, it's almost like that. Who would you invite to that dinner party?
Yep.
Uh, Everyone says Hitler in that one. That's quite interesting.
They
But
do?
yeah, everyone says who would
Oh,
like they want. Oh,
who says that?
yeah, yeah. If you had four people to a dinner party, who would you like? President Lincoln, there's
Yeah.
Einstein, and if like Hitler is like number three on the list.
Right.
Anyway, I would probably go Ansel Adams.
Yeah.
I reckon just to watch him at work and meet that man, and he just seemed like a really lovely man. So that'd be my person to go shoot with. And yeah, like even I'd still even take my large format film camera with me and just set up next to him. I think that'd be pretty cool and just rack his brain of knowledge and yeah,
Yeah. Ansel Adams would be pretty high on most
yeah, I think so.
landscape photographers' lists, I would have thought. I mean, for me right now, I would love to go on a walk with Peter Eastway.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I think Peter's. I've Yeah, I've followed him for ages, ever since he started the Better Photography magazine. Shit, is that
Right.
what it's called? I think that's what it's called.
I
I'm
think
going to get that right.
it is. It
The,
is better photography.
yeah,
Yes.
the magazine that he started, well,
Yeah.
decades ago now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always admired his work.
Yeah.
The fact that he's Australian's a bonus. The fact that he'll be on our show at some point's a bonus. Um,
I was going to say, why is he not on our show yet?
you heard it here first, Pete. You're coming on this show, whether you like it or not. Yeah, I just like the way he goes about it.
Yeah.
He's got that thing that you can't quite put your finger on. And a lot of the times you see his photos, and you look underneath and it says Peter Eastway, and you go, of course it is.
Yeah. I
It's
didn't even need
definitely.
to. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
it would be definitely Peter Eastway. The other photographer that I'd love to sort of maybe come with me more than me go with them would be my daughter. I
right.
would love for Abs to come out a bit more with me, taking more photos. But she'll find her own way with it.
Yeah.
She's into her photography. She loves it. But I got a feeling that there's going to be a bit more sort of photojournalism stuff with her, and maybe street stuff with her. That's what she's into. So
Yeah.
and definitely film as well. So that's, yeah,
Well, maybe I'll take her out for a shoot when she comes down.
no doubt. I'll
Hey,
send her your way.
speaking of Peter Eastway, legend, have
Yes.
you sent him an email trying to get him on the show?
A couple of times. So
Because
now,
he's got a
just recently, he did accept my friend request. So that's
mm,
something, right?
well, or a mistake.
Yeah, who the hell is this Brendan Waits guy? What the hell? The
Because
down south what now?
got a contact on there.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, maybe we can try that.
Peter, come on the
Um,
show, Peter. You've been on all the other shows. Come on our show.
has he?
Yeah, he's been on every other photo show you can think of.
Right. Yeah, all two of them.
But not Australia's highest ranking photography podcast.
No. So it's that time of year, Cam. It's December.
That is.
Uh, as we record this, it's the 11th. This goes out on Friday, the 13th of December. Why
Ooh.
wasn't why wasn't that Black Friday this
Yeah,
year?
yeah. Why can we call it Black Friday?
The hell is Black Friday? I don't
It's
even know this Cyber Monday
yeah,
and
Black
Black
Friday.
Friday madness and crap.
Black
Just I
Friday
know
is like Thanksgiving. It's just like here's another chance to get things on special that are going to be the same price on special next week anyway.
it's so dumb.
Yep. And then
Anyway,
Cyber Monday. Like, what the hell? Everything's cyber.
yeah. Anyway, you'd think being a retailer probably should be more involved with that stuff, but folks,
Good Black
I'm
Friday.
not. No, whatever. Um,
Hey,
one
2024, mate. Maybe get a bit
One
of time.
one last plug for my shop, Ocean Grove Camera and Photo. Um, I've had heaps of people send me prints to do for them from all over the country, and I can only assume that it's because of the Down South Photo Show. So
You're,
thank you, everyone.
you're welcome. I keep sending people there all the time. You know how many people I
Appreciate that.
get on workshops go, so like, where should I get all my stuff printed? I'm like, oh, Kmart for sure.
Yeah, no, office work, mate.
Officeworks. I get a lot of people asking me because I am plug-in the printing. Like I try and get people to print on every
Yep,
workshop.
yep,
I've just released a couple of, well, I'm calling masterclass workshops now, where we're doing a day of shooting and then we come back and edit and then print here in the office or the studio.
awesome.
But I want people to start printing stuff. And like I said, I printed stuff today, um, and I do. I tell people you've got to get stuff printed, but don't go to your Harvey Normans and your Kmart's and your Office Works. If you just want that cheap photo, fine. If it's something
Yep.
special, get someone like Brendan to print it. So I do push a bit of business your way. Maybe I
Um,
should get like a code that people can put in so I can get a kickback.
yeah, affiliate link.
Affiliate link.
That's what you need.
Pretty sure
So
they've got.
I can just put all my prices up by how
Yeah,
much it costs to pay you.
that's right. Yeah,
Perfect.
I'll totally.
Um, so yeah, it's that time of year, and Cam, if you put this on the run sheet,
Hmm. So
what
you
do you
can
want for Christmas? Now, I'm assuming this is a photographic related, not just what I want for Christmas.
photographic related. If you could get something,
Money's no object.
well, let's be reasonable. Let's not just say, oh, okay, I want, a phase one and 10,000 lenses. If let's say you had a budget of, a reasonable budget of $5,000,
5 grand.
5 grand.
Okay.
It might get you half a new body from Sony.
Okay. Well, who's going first, me or
Oh,
you?
you go first. I think, yeah, I think,
Okay. So if someone gave me 5 grand and said you have to spend that, photographically speaking,
yes.
I think I think I would take a trip to Milford Sound in New Zealand.
Right. Okay. Nice.
That's
Have
how
you
I would
been? You've
spend
been
it.
there before, haven't you?
I've not been to Milford Sound. The one and only, no, the two times I attempted to get there, it was that bad weather-wise, we couldn't get there. So,
Mm. So you'd do a trip over there? Would you do like a chopper flight over Milford Sound?
I would do
Boat ride
something, maybe a
or
cruise. Yeah, Milford's on the list, and I haven't got there yet. So, yeah, I absolutely adore New Zealand. I think it's the most amazing country, and I'd love to go. I mean, I've got family there as well, which is an added
yes.
bonus. But I would love to get back there with my camera, and I found a lighthouse. I found a lighthouse. Listen to me, it's always there. There's this lighthouse. It's about 2 hour drive south of where my brother lives, and I want to go and photograph it. So I would take your 5 grand and I would do that. I'd go and shoot that lighthouse and then head down to Milford Sound.
Okay. All right. Mine's pretty similar. Like I'm pretty sure I've got all the gear I need.
Yeah.
I don't think I need any more. But I've and it's funny how things happen. I've had a few things pop up in the last week that are sort of telling me I need to go to this place.
Okay.
It's Antarctica.
All right.
I don't think 5 grand's going to get me too many days down there.
That'd get you
Halfway,
uh,
halfway across
a
Drake
flight
Continent,
over Antarctica.
maybe. But I would put it towards a trip to Antarctica.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I've just a couple of people I've come across who've been there, and I'm just like, oh, geez, that's that last frontier. It's
It
sort of like
feels
the
like it,
last
doesn't it?
continent, the last
Yeah.
thing, it's
Yeah.
the place that, and I don't know if I'd want to spend heaps of time in Antarctica, but I've got a real passion to go to Macquarie Island on the way. And there's a few other, is it South Georgia or whatever it is, South Georgia
Is
Island?
Macquarie Island off the bottom of New Zealand?
It's off the bottom of sort of Tassie in New Zealand, yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's
cool,
actually it's
nice.
actually Tasmanian land or Tasmanian territory.
Is it? There you
Yeah.
go.
So yeah, I've got a real desire to try and get to those. I won't happen in a hurry, but if I had 5 grand for Christmas to put towards my photography, it'd be going towards getting myself closer to that.
Put it on the bucket list, mate.
Yeah. Or
We can.
we can run a trip to Antarctica.
Do you want me to change on the website instead of saying buy us a beer, it says get Cam to Antarctica. It's like a what do they call those pages? GoFundMe sort of
Yeah,
page.
can't be bad. I reckon I'd be paying people, not them paying me. Although if I got down there, I'd shut up for a while. Maybe people might pay for that.
Well, it does look amazing though. You're right. Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Um, quick bit of photography news for you. The Bright Festival of Photography 2025, amazingly, is almost completely sold out.
I think it is sold out.
Is it now? Because I was talking
Yeah.
to Matt the other day, and Matt said we are normally still pushing this thing in September.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Okay,
think
this
they
is
had a picture.
ridiculous.
They had a picture of two turtles,
Right.
uh, which said it said something graphically represented. Had a picture of two turtles. There was two tickets left. They're now sold,
So it's sold out.
sold out.
That's
So
amazing.
now,
Now, if you are listening to the show and watching the show and you didn't get a ticket to BFOP 2025, but you're still keen to maybe attend, join the BFOP groupies page on Facebook. Because quite often people will buy their ticket and then something comes up. They've got a family event that they didn't factor in, or a wedding, or something happens and they get sick or whatever.
shout out to our
Um,
friend Tanina who
yes.
missed out on BFOP last year because she went to her son's wedding. Like seriously,
Yeah, what the hell?
like get your priorities straight.
He's going to have another one. That's not what I meant.
Anyway, yeah, so yeah, like you're right. Get on the Beef Hoopies,
Beef
V
Whoopies.
Beef Hoopies page, Beef Up groupies, and yeah, people always do start chucking up uh tickets and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So, yeah. So there you go. What a feather in the cap of the organisers of BFOP. Awesome. Cam, do you have some beer donations for us this week,
I
please?
do. I was going to say just quickly, if we were half a decent show, we'd buy like half a dozen tickets to that thing and give them away throughout the year.
I had exactly the same thought during the week. We should buy one of the tickets and give it away, but we
I'm
missed out.
sure we could talk to Matt and Nick and say, hey, can we get a couple of complimentary tickets to give away on the show?
Complimentary, yeah. I'm sure they'll just give them to us.
Well, all they'll do is they'll just take it out of what they give me or you.
That's
We'll
right. I'll
still
just
pay
split
for
it
it.
down the middle.
We'll
That's
still
right.
pay for it. But just
Exactly.
won't. Beer donations. Felicity J,
Thank you,
uh,
Felicity.
Mel H,
New
and
guy?
yeah, I think it might even be a girl. I don't know.
Okay.
And Sean M, who made a donation a couple weeks ago, but I'm not sure if we mentioned it or not.
Thank you,
So
Sean.
gets another shout out.
That
So
is absolutely superb.
yeah, Yeah, so keep those beer donations coming in. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We only need about 15 more people to reach that 1,000.
How can people buy us a beer, Cameron?
If they go to the dsps.com.au website, you can do it through there.
Very good. There's a little button at the top that says buy us a beer. You can buy us a beer, you can buy us two beers, or you can buy us a slab, or which is what we call it here in Victoria and Tasmania.
Or a box or a carton.
24 bottles of beer.
One thing I will ask, if people are buying us a beer, even though they sort of give us the money, just to let it be known, we're not buying any American beer because American beer tastes like shit.
The Modelo I got onto,
Modelo, you got into Modelo, which is a Corona ripoff.
our friends that we played golf with got us onto that.
Yes. Do you remember their names?
Sure.
Nick, was it?
They don't
What
watch the
else?
show. It's fine.
They might. Not
They were
anymore though.
lovely. They were lovely, lovely gentlemen.
That
So
was a very fun game. I'm playing golf tomorrow,
excellent.
unless it's
I'm playing Friday.
blowing a gale out here today. Are you, was
Really?
it windy up there?
No, it could not be any calmer. In fact,
Right.
it is dead calm as I look outside. That's the weird thing about recording at this time of year is we record of an evening and the amount of sunsets that have been awesome that I've missed recording
Yes.
the Down South Photo Show for you lovely people, I tell you.
Yeah, that's why I need to buy my beer.
That's right. So I know what you've got coming up, Cameron.
Yeah. What have you got coming up?
You've got nothing coming up.
I have absolutely sweet FA. I am just going to sit on the couch. I got out of bed at 11:30 this morning. Good that.
Shout out to Stephen, who was with us in the US, who
Yes.
has sent me a photo to put on a canvas. I'll share it with you when I'm at the shop tomorrow, Cam. It is
Right.
exquisite. It is exquisite.
He takes a good shot, that man.
It's a very, very good photo. So
From
we're doing,
from
and
America.
yeah,
Oh,
from Zion.
nice. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, you'll like it.
Yeah.
What have I got coming up? Well, the madness of retail is upon me. So for the next well, until we talk to you guys again, I will be printing rectangles and putting them in frames for lovely people. Actually, been selling a few cameras. What? Yes, I know, right? Um, Selling a few cameras.
Right.
Yeah, that sort of stuff. So,
Do you ever make any squares?
yeah, square
Triangles?
canvases. Don't
Triangles?
make triangle canvases. That
Could you
would
do a
be
triangle? Could you do a triangle canvas?
sure. Uh, Maybe that's a good question. Why would you though?
Well, like I could, Antelope Canyon, could have like a triangle shit. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, I could see the merit in that, but be a hard one to hang, wouldn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I have seen my guy that makes my stretcher bars that I stretch the canvas on.
Yes.
He's made circles before, circle canvases. So
Then circle canvases, yeah.
yeah,
Triangles? No. Oh, there must be a
maybe
reason
they're
for that.
triangles, octagonal, maybe.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, that's it. Anything more to add, Cameron?
No, no, it's nice to be back. Nice to be able to get back on my own show for a week. It's
It
lovely.
is good. It's good to have
Uh,
you here. We
and
will
being
more
hijacked,
than
hijacked by Mr. Glenn Lavender.
absolutely. So that is it. That's the podcast. This has been episode 146 of the Down South Photo Show. We will see you probably next week. Yes, next week.
We're not doing
Yes.
anything. We've nothing to do. You might see us next week.
That's right. P.S. How's the lighting?
Perfect, mate. Your lighting looks great.
Did I
Uh,
deliver?
you've delivered nicely. It's
Because I
my
let the team down the last couple of weeks, it must be said.
well, maybe a little bit. I think because you said you were recording during the day,
I was
there's a few
backlit.
times in the Nick Carver interview where you almost disappeared into the darkness.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but that's
Um,
okay. It's all good.
that's definitely one summer project is remodeling this
Yeah,
studio. I'm going to call it a studio.
not a stupido.
I'm going to remodel the studio and get it set up better for
Yeah,
the podcast.
you know what? I've got my studio still.
Oh God, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
We will see you for episode 147 next week. Bye for now.
Yeah.